What is going on, family? Welcome back to another Women Who Rock Wednesday, and I'm very excited today because, again, we get to feature Freeze the Fall. I really am telling you guys, I cannot get enough of this band. I listen to them literally every day. I have fallen in love with three bands pretty damn hard since I started my YouTube channel. The Warning, obviously, we got a poster on the wall of The Warning. Wind Waker, for sure. That was the number one very first band that I fell in love with, Wind Waker from Australia. Please go check out their album Hyperviolence if you have not done so. A really great metalcore band out there from Australia. And then obviously my favorite band from Canada, my favorite band from anywhere at this point, really. Like, why am I going to even lie, guys? Freeze the Fall. Luckily, you guys have been kind to let me know that there are still a few videos out there that I have not checked out from this band, so I still have more content and more things to get into with Freeze the Fall. And luckily, they just dropped another video of another live version of their song Broken Glass, which again, I would say has been very heavy in the rotation lately. It's almost becoming a problem because I don't feel like I'm listening to as much music as I used to because I'm just running back to almost these same artists like all the time. And for me, it's actually very weird. I don't normally stay on an artist for so long, but I cannot get off of Freeze the Fall. And they don't even have that many songs. But it's like, once I get over one, I get stuck on another one, and then I get stuck on another one, and then I come back to the other ones. Boy, oh boy, now that One Left Standing has entered my world, now I got the automatic, like, if I want to cry and if I feel like I want to cry, that is the one I'm running to right now. I can't even just turn it on. I'm even just thinking about it. Just thinking about it right now. Like, just like the intro already just gets me like every single time. It's just such a beautiful song. I love the fact that this band has so much range and they give you like all kinds of different things that all kind of tie together that overall sound like their overall sound. I believe somebody said that it was like for a talent show, that the fact that it was like going to be like a throwaway song, that it wasn't even going to make it on the Thrones EP. It just really makes me think about that story from like Billie Joe Armstrong about the time of your life, like the song that so many people graduated high school to, and so many people absolutely love that song, The Time of Your Life. In case you guys didn't know, Billie Joe Armstrong absolutely hates that song. It was never supposed to make it on the Nimrod record. He didn't want it to be on there. He didn't think it was up to his standards of a good enough song for Green Day to put it out there. But like this one, like Last One Standing, it just reminds me of like, my God, like where would my life be without that song today? Because like now that song has like such a special meaning, like to me now, from a band that we weren't even going to put it on the record. Like we didn't even feel that strongly about it. And that's, I think, the beauty of in the art of music is the fact that like it might not even be that strong to the band, but it can connect to somebody else so well and so strongly. And I feel like it's going to so many more people that just haven't even heard it yet. And that's just a beautiful thing. All right, Johnny, you've talked enough. Just play the damn song.
Our old band name used to be Broken Glass. So the name of the song is kind of like a tribute to that. So yeah, here's Broken Glass.
Yeah, let's go.
Get out of my head. Sick of valley boys. Fear no one sees and is rooted in life. Harsh words if you do not get the credit for something you never even did for others. This picture is something you cannot see. You smile, don't expect to see me smiling. I never saw you then when I stood on broken glass. So don't even try to say that I followed your tracks. And if you need me today for my reflection in the glass, but don't ever say because don't you feel right in life.
One of my favorite things about this song overall is I feel like this song has like a continual build through it. Like the way that the riffs kind of like tie into like Aria's bass line solo, and then it kind of like just transcends after that. I'll never forget the first time I heard this song, like even just like thinking back to the reaction video of like that first time when I heard like that "We Are Broken" part. Like it is just like just runs through your body. Another major win for me when it comes to Freeze the Fall overall is the fact that like you don't lose the quality of the record in the live performance. Like a lot of times the bands, like when they like play the instruments like live, it doesn't sound the same, and like you could just tell it doesn't sound the same. Like, but the way that they actually tune their instruments to actually perform them live, they actually sound the same way that they recorded when they actually play the records. Like I said, the way that like Quinn plays the riff, like the guitar riff, and the way that Aria also plays the bass riff, like it sounds literally exactly like what's gonna actually you hear on the actual record. I don't mind when it's off like a little bit, like, you know, because obviously it's not going to be like exactly perfect. It's not like exactly cleaned up the way that the actual record is. But the overall sound and the vibe that you get from the listening to the record is what you get from the actual live show. Same thing with the overall sound and voice quality from everybody. That's one of the things that I really kind of was kind of missing a little bit in the second verse, is I really like the way that that song kind of comes in like kind of soft. Like when, like, you know, that very beginning of that second verse, like when, like, so you spend your time taking what others have, like that, the way that they have like done that on the record, it kind of like comes in all soft and like just like this really overall pretty sound to it. And I think I would have like probably like really enjoyed maybe seeing like Aria also like singing like backup vocals at that same part to kind of add a little bit of like that sweetness kind of sound to it that the overall record has. And but overall, like that other than that little thing, I feel like that would maybe just add like a little bit more to that, much more to the performance. That's just my opinion, and that's like the smallest little thing when it comes to like anything to even just say to add to this overall song. Because overall, it's amazing. It's great. Like it doesn't need to change. It doesn't need to be that much better, but it can be a little bit better. But at the end of the day, like it's only going to get better. They're only going to get more comfortable. They're only going to be that much more like in sync in terms of like how they're going to be performing these songs, because eventually they're going to be performing these songs so many different times that they're going to have to try to find ways to kind of spice it up and do those kinds of little things. So I think that they will just overall over time make these performances that much better. But even just like for like so early into the overall career of the band, like they're just already at such a high level already. I saw Jonah again in the background getting a little bit into it in a moment where he could breathe for a second. Like, you know, like to see a drummer get a little bit excited about the song as if they're just not playing it. I like them to be involved as if they were part of the writing process. And that's one thing that I think that Jonah kind of does well, is he doesn't like make himself seem like he's separate from the band. Like the band always does seem cohesive. That's one thing that I always like kind of give Pal a little bit of praise for when it comes to the Warning, is that she finds a good way to like make herself like part of the band, even though she's in the back. And I think Jonah also does that as really good as well. Like he always does a really good job of making his different parts and different like just solos and drum rolls like stand out and sound good and unique. And like I said, when it comes to Aria, like one of my favorite things about this overall song was like her bass line. And I feel like she always gives really great, interesting bass lines, and like more technical than the average bassist. So you know, the fact that she plays the 5-string bass, like I said, I haven't brought it up before, but I'm going to bring it up now, that she plays the 5-string bass, and it's right there. You're already taking a step above what other bassists do. And the fact that like, you know, you can just see that you're playing more technical stuff, like when she's actually doing like anything that you can see her do, she's playing more technical riffs than a lot of bassists do. Most bassists keep it as simple as possible. There's not a lot of technicality to it, but the fact that she's influenced by so many of like these like really talented bassists and like just really the extremely talented metal bands in general, like you can see that she tries to incorporate that into the overall playing style, and I just love it because I feel like it adds another element to like what a trio. Like you know, it's hard to be a trio and have like a lot of dynamic within a trio. But the fact that they actually do this in a band is really, really impressive. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me today, even though I was a dummy and forgot to turn off my damn capture when the video was over. But I appreciate you guys anyway. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you. Until next time, I appreciate you for watching.